Would I be buying Apple? It depends on time horizon, but long term, yes, I would. Ariel, I think that, clearly all stock prices are elevated at this point, but I think, it's a function of time horizon, but I think looking at things over a long time horizon, I'm very constructive on the markets, and I think we could see things move up, notwithstanding a little bit of short-term volatility and correction here, but I think longer term, stocks are poised to continue to do well.
Okay, Steen, I've got to get you to weigh in here, given the conversation that we were just having before the break, where you were saying that valuations are stretched. I feel like Jim's probably a little bit more optimistic when it comes to the market moving upwards.
I think the essential question is whether we're going to face a recession in the US in the next 18 months or not. That's really what it is. If we're not facing a recession, I agree with Jim totally that the stocks is probably the place to be under a assumption that growth in the US. We'll see some infrastructure investment, some cutting of the tax rates in the US as well, which is certainly coming. But the fact is that the policy announcements remains something that we look for from the Trump administration. And I got a feeling that if you include the economics development going on right now, as I said before, the credit impulse is weakening. The Federal Reserve remains very optimistic, but I don't think they're going to be delivering 3 hikes this year, which to some extent would support Jim's argument unless we get the recession. Just for the matter of math here, I actually think there's more than 50% recession risk in the US in the next 18 months, according to the model we runs. But it's not enough right now to actually go short the market or even go neutral. But I am very skeptical, I have to admit.
Okay, Jim, come on, weigh in here. 50%, more than a 50% chance of a recession in the Eurozone in the next 18 months. Even though you're saying that's not enough to price in, well, Steen's saying that's not about enough to price in, that seems to me to be a fairly hefty risk. Is that something on your horizon?
It isn't, Oriel, and I guess I would put the probability of a recession much lower for a lot of reasons. One, we're looking at consumer confidence, which in the U.S., which continues to register at very high levels. And we also have a situation where earnings, when you look at future earnings forecasts for 2017, most of these forecasts that I'm seeing are in the low single digits. So even if you say that maybe it isn't the low single digits or double digits, it's the high single digits, stock prices over time follow earnings. And with that kind of earnings growth, I just think that stocks could continue to do well, and I would place a much lower probability of a recession.